Yes, people, big up everyone tuning in right now on a Saturday evening. We have Delhi Sultanate in at a place in just a few minutes. Just gonna let some more peeps into the live chat, and we take it away shortly. Big up Diggy Dang, tuned in. Miss Queenie Susie, Alicia, locked and loaded. Saturday evening things. Willie the Bullet Sega, you don't know. Yeah. Yes, Diggy Dang. What you saying?
What's up?
What you saying, bro?
I thought I'll just join in and have a little chat with you, mate, while we're waiting.
What's up, Zeus?
You tell me, man. How's it been going, Diggy? What do you make of the sound clash so far, the quarantine clash? What are your thoughts?
So excited, man. I just bought my ticket for the final.
You bought your ticket? Good.
Yeah, dude. I'm like, yo, because Sultan has to win this. He has to go to the final. And we have to see India fucking make this clash, man. That's basically it. That's what I'm hoping for.
So let the people know, bro. What's the process of buying your ticket? How do you buy your ticket?
I just basically there's a PayPal link, and I was able to. I had a little bit of money from my bank camp or some shit or something in my PayPal account, so I was able to pay those $5 or whatever it was, and you just basically pay for the PayPal via PayPal, and you get a code.
Where do you find
Warrior
the link?
Sound will send you a code.
Soundclash.com, or where's the link?
I know the link is basically on Walshy Fire's Facebook page. And
you go to Walshy Fire's Facebook page, you find the link for the final, and you buy the tickets. When is the final, bro?
The final is on the 31st of May.
So you're predicting Base Foundation Roots to go all the way?
Yeah. I mean, I hope, man. We like for India reggae scene, we have to put it on the map, and we have to represent. So I feel like Sultanate all the way.
For real, bro. Cool. So let me get thorough in this conversation.
All right, I'm gonna
Thank you,
get out.
Biggie,
All right, you take it
for
over.
the useful information about ticket info.
All right, bless.
Nahal is getting crunk on a Saturday night.
She's getting
litty. You guys getting litty. Love it. Love it. All right, people. Big up PM Masala Dosa in the place. Somi One Kenobi. Delhi Sultanate has just touched down into cyberspace. Yeah, man. Original Dread Stepper. The whole Massive crew locked in right now. A whole heap of Reggae India Massive is tuning in. Wicked and wild. All right. Yes, Taru. That's perhaps because I was live with Diggy, but I'm just adding you, and soon you will be in this chat.
Yo.
Yes, boss.
Yeah. Easy, Zeus. Sorry for the delay, man. I actually thought it was at 9. You know. Apologies.
I know you did,
everyone.
bro. I know you did. I know you did.
Same. But cool. You did the right thing and called Begum X. So now I'm here. Much love, everyone. Respect.
Nice one. Cool. Better late than never. Seen?
Same.
Nice. So what go on, man? How have the last couple of weeks been?
Good, bro. Good, man. I'm having fun. I'm really having fun with this clash, bro. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it a lot. It's nice. What can I say? You know, it's wicked, man. I mean, yeah, it's my kind of thing. I love sound system culture. I love clash, and I'm glad how the whole thing came together. All the sounds are really interesting too. I must say, like last week, all of them impressed me. Like Lockwork Posse, wow, some wicked tunes, man. They impressed me, you know. Seeing. And the youth from Israel too.
Yeah, I guess like that's the thing about clash, right? Like you might be a juggling sound, or you might do your party thing or your entertainment thing in one way, you know, run your dance in one way. But then there's this other side of you, which is like this clash side, you know? So interesting to see people bring that out, I guess, you know?
Yeah, for sure, bro. I mean, like Walshy also said, no? I mean, this is really pretty much the only time when you see me go like, where people go kill each other, you know, like reggae music, you don't really see that too much, but this is full on. And it brings out creativity. You know, it makes people, it inspires people. Shout out to Mayavi, just tuned in. It makes you creative, bro. It makes you have to be creative, you know, because you have to pull out something against the other person. It's just a whole different kind of energy from playing a juggling dance. And I guess it's also this kind of thing that pushes you to be creative. And you have to be spontaneous because you can't also prepare a set too much because you have to be able to just do whatever is required in a given moment, you know? And
so tell us about that. Tell us a little bit about that. What was something which was maybe completely spontaneous in your last clash? What was something which you were just like, shit, this is not planned at all, but boom?
all right, couple of things. Okay, I'll be honest with you. I had heard him play that Movado before, where he says, this is what the Rasta life is like. And I was like, man, all right, okay, cool. I mean, I thought it'd be nice to pull out Samara in any case. But then when he played that tune, I was like, all right, now, you know, like now. Like I'm gonna bring in my wife and say a little something, you know. The other thing that was spontaneous, I mean, you do prepare some rounds, but you can't play back a tune, right? So if somebody else plays something, you can't play back that tune, so you have to kind of flip it up. But that didn't really happen. But he started saying, like, he played a couple of Bounty Killer and then was like, okay, you know, you better, how come you haven't played any Bounty yet, or you better draw for some Bounty. And then I was like, all right, throw everything out of the window. I'm going to play like Bounty and Sizzler back to back, you know, just, yeah, that kind of thing. And I guess, I mean, look, and sometimes, like, yeah, whatever, speeches, you know, you don't really prepare the speeches too much because you have to respond.
I mean, for me, the big thing was the burial speech, right?
The cremate. Man, I mean, you know, it's true that Mr. Madden, I have heard in loads of reggae songs. I actually didn't know it's a family called Madden. I thought that's just what they say to, like, the you know, what, the Black Maria, like when the coffin car, the Black Maria. So I thought that's just what they say. Because so many times I heard, call Mr. Madden, call Mr. Madden. I mean, Coco T, Ninja Man tunes is there. So when he's like, yo, this is my wife and she's from the Madden family, it was wicked and fun, you know?
It was cool. And the way you turned it around was really cool too. I think that was, for me, probably the highlight in terms of spontaneity. Like that was a very good comeback. But yeah, what impressed you about Jamaica? What were you like, oh wow, this guy, you know,
bro,
was there any point where you felt, you know, this guy's kind of, you know, got you on the ropes, or he's, you know, landed a good shot? Was there anything that kind of impressed you?
You know, I didn't really, I mean, look, it can happen, of course, that sometimes you feel on the rope and you feel like, oh fuck, what do I do now? I'm on the back foot. I didn't really have that kind of moment, you know. I felt just, I was having fun and I didn't really go into that zone in my mind. But I really like how Jamaica plays, because he plays in a cool kind of way. He has a sense of humor. He's funny, man, you know, like when you ran off into the woods with that pinchers. He's cool, bro.
Enemies.
Yeah. Jamaica has a wicked style, bro. Like respect, full respect. He's cool, and he's also not too. He's cool, you know. He's not too like overtly hostile. You know what I mean? Like all of us do this a little bit. Like, oh, I'm gonna kill you, and you may even call some bad words sometimes. But I like how he conducts himself, and I mean, look, he has a heavy box, you know. So
sure. Have you been in touch with him after? You guys kind of touched base, or not really?
No, man, I sent him a message afterwards, and he responded back saying, and he said even during the clash, you know, like, yo, after the clash is done, like, now we have the link and we can organize a dance. And that's how it always is, bro. I mean, okay, there are stories where the enmity definitely carries on, you know. It's not like it's always peace and love between sounds. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it can get like some football hooliganism, like hardcore thing. But, of course, this wasn't the vibe between us at all. I sent him a message afterwards saying, like, I mean, it was sick. I love the promos also, man. The sick, bro. He's so creative. It adds a whole different vibe to it. So, yeah, man. I sent him big up Rory, still in love.
Did you manage to enjoy yourself at all, Taru? Because, like, bro, I know you and you're a serious man. So I know you came to win, and you came, you know, you were tuned in. You were like thinking about strategy and which tunes and all that. But did you manage to actually let loose at some point? I mean, were you able to free up and kind of like enjoy it?
I think I was able to free up and have fun. And you know, Zeus, at the end of the day, if you don't have fun, there's no point, man. Like, I don't want to be in a mind frame where I think too much about winning and get too much into this ego thing and stuff, because then it's just no fun, you know. What's the point? You know what I mean? So, like, I always, sometimes you don't manage, of course, but I always strive to be in that zone, because otherwise, what's the point, bro? If I'm not having fun, not enjoying myself, then what's the point? And then that also communicates to the people, I think, you know. So you strive for that. You may not always manage, of course, you know what I'm saying? End of the day, it's a competition, it's a war, and there's someone there trying to kill you musically, you know? So that kind of thing. But yeah,
How's the response been, man? Like, I'm sure you got tons of messages from all people, you know, tuned in from all over the world. People who probably didn't even tune in, but then heard about you and checked you out. So tell me,
man,
you know,
I got a good response, but the responses that touched me the most, bro, is like that same night, I got a call at 3 in the morning, like we were still hanging out here, from Dynamic. I don't know, you know about Dynamic Sound, you know?
Sudanese, right?
Yeah, man. And he's like, I represent South Sudan. And he was emotional, man. He's like, yeah, man, I watched The Clash 2 times, and I love what I do, and the things where you say about Marcus Garvey, you know, bring tears to my eyes, and don't change a thing about the way you do your thing. Because obviously, bro, some people are like, you know, whatever, like laptop and fast mixing and this and that, you know? So, but then, like, Dynamic was like, you don't change a thing, brother. And so that made me feel good. And then, bro, the next day, I get a message from Shinehead saying, Father Downbeat wants to speak to you, you know? So, I called Father Downbeat. And again, it was like, because actually one of the rhythms I played the Studio One version of a rhythm called Bad Treatment. And a lot of sounds play a Taxi version, like a newer version, Taxi label version of it, but nobody really has the Studio One. And I had met Tony Screw, Father Downbeat, 5 years ago, and asked him about this rhythm. And he said, like, yeah, I look for it. I have it, because he used to be Cox and Dodd's right-hand man. And he couldn't find it, and he never sent it to me. So when I played it, I'm surprised he remembered, you know, because it means he watched The Clash, and he called me the next day, and he's like, yo, that Studio One rhythm where I played, tell me the truth, how did you find that rhythm, you know? So, yeah, man, that felt good to me.
That's mad.
Those things, you know, bro, like, I had a couple of really good feedback. Also, like, I sent The Clash to Rory, and Rory just called me back, was laughing on the phone. Those kind of things, man. I mean, you know, honestly, Zeus, like, those people's opinion really matters to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, at end of the day, you can't please everyone. I have to just kind of stick to my thing and do my thing, and you know what other people say is, it's all right, you know, cool. Like, I have to just do my thing. But
I mean, I think whether it's online or not, whether it's a quarantine clash or not, you're always going to get people who didn't like what you did and didn't think you should have won, right? Like, what's a good sound clash without some sort of controversy or, you know, some like controversial elements to it, or someone creating a ruckus, right?
Sure.
Like, that's how it has to be.
Yeah, sure.
So I think that's part of it, you know? I mean, I think in terms of like what you did and the creativity and the fact that you stuck to your style and did what you wanted to do and didn't sacrifice that, I think that obviously is going to win over a lot more people than, you know, than the hate. So,
well, I think honestly, I think it's kind of important also, you know, like if everyone plays the same, it becomes kind of boring, you know, Zeus. I feel like it's important that people cut different tunes and have different kind of style, and it's true also what people were saying, that the sound clash thing, you have a lot of new sounds coming into it, and also spending a lot of money, and that's important because that also sustains artists, you know. So, I mean, all the sounds are putting in work and cutting dub plates and sending money to Jamaica. I mean, big up, you know. If the Europeans and the Japanese were not doing that, it's really, I mean, it's a lifeline for a lot of artists. But it's also true that since the 90s, the thing has become a bit boring, Zeus, you know. I mean, you would think that with all the technology, there would be more creativity, but I don't know. It's true that something, and some vitality and something of the thing has been lost. Like, people still talk about the 90s, and everyone still talks about that era, you know what I mean? But since then, I mean, really and truly, yeah.
I mean, I think there's something special about the 90s generally. I mean, across, I don't think it's necessarily specific to reggae music, but I think of rock music in the 90s, or I think of hip hop music in the 90s. It's different flavor, you know? Like, if you look at hip hop now, you know, in my mind, like, I'm just like, whoa, 90s is where it was at. If I look at dancehall,
I mean, yeah,
same thing. Like, 90s where it's at.
All the innovation happened at that time. I mean, there's, you know, we don't have to go into it. There's many reasons for that. Part of them are also economic, you know, like with internet and CDs and streaming and record labels in Jamaica shutting down and lots of stuff. It's just, And I guess, you know, it's accessible to a lot more people, which is good. But that also sometimes leads to a bit of watering down, because earlier you really had to prove your stripes till you get to a point where you can clash. It's not going to be easy. I mean, it's the same for MCs, right? Like, until you got a chance to rock the mic in a dance,
Yeah.
there was a lot of hardship and a long journey until you get up to that point. So then by the time you reach that, you're a killer, you know?
No doubt. No doubt. What did you think of the, I mean, what are some of the other sounds? I mean, now that you've watched, you know, everyone in the tournament, has anything stuck out for you or surprised you? Or maybe you were like, oh, wow, that sound actually beat that sound? Or, oh, you know, I didn't know that sound would come so hard? Or was there anything that kind of stuck out to you from the other sounds?
I mean, look, bro, I rate Ja Works from a long time, you know? So I was kind of surprised. I felt sorry for him that his internet connection is not coming through proper and stuff like that, you know? But I don't know, what do I say? I was surprised by some of the tunes that the Glockwork Posse, the Germans pulled out. Like, they pulled out some Frankie Paul on a Robot Dog rhythm, and I was like, yo, it's wicked. Wicked, 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 you know?
They were definitely quite creative. I mean, you know, you do your thing in your own way, but I felt like if any of the other sounds was, you know, creative, they were pretty creative. Like, I thought,
yeah, for sure,
rhythm choices
definitely,
definitely,
for sure. I felt they were more the dubs that I heard being played, I found they were more creative than Notorious, you know.
definitely.
And Cheeky Dubs, I mean, bro, Cheeky Dubs, respect, because that brother is like, in a clash you have to work with what you have, you know what I mean? And it's easy for sounds who have a lot of money to spend to try and kind of gun you down with big money dub plate, you know. Like, of course, if you drop like a Shabba plus Buju plus Damian Marley plus Barry Salmon plus, you know, like I mean, that's also a way to go to just drop some heavy dub plate where everyone's like, oh shit, you know. And to be able to just work with what you have, hold your ground, not get cowed down, and just, I mean, respect. It's not easy to do. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to, if you have like big money dub plate behind you and you draw confidence
Definitely.
from that. It's easy. It's easier. You know what I'm saying? To just feel loose and do your thing. And in spite of that, like, yeah, man, it's not easy. Dude is a warrior. Like,
well, that's what I was talking. I mean, I know you were tuned in yesterday to the chat with him, and that's what we were also talking about then. That it's not, you know, necessarily about the biggest dubs. And for example, with Irie Crew, he was saying what he thought, what he felt was, you know, that the lack of the MC, the regular MC, really made a big difference.
Yeah, man, like,
so,
he didn't use it. You know, he didn't use what he has. He was falling back just on the confidence of having bigger dub plate. And I mean, you know, if you're in front of a full nerdy sound system, massive, then okay, you know, they just be like, yes, Shabba, whatever, Buju. But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting if you have to work with what you have, no? Like, there was a sound called there's a song called Black Cat in Jamaica that had a selection called Pink Panther. Top sound, but they didn't have the most money, but they managed to still kill people, you know. Like, first round, second round, it looks like the other sound is winning, and suddenly third round you would try to turn it around and find a way to mash them up. And that's also what makes the game interesting, because if it's only about, you know, like, who can spend more money on dub plate, it's boring, you know.
For sure. I mean, that's what, you know, I mean, looking at just the results in your half of the draw, I think many people would have predicted Ja Mikey won against Irie Crew, not Base Foundation Roots against Cheeky Dubs.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, so I think definitely that, like, you know, the element of surprise worked for you guys. Maybe you guys didn't have as expensive dub boxes as either of the other two sounds, you know. But you guys, you know, you're entertained and you held it down in your own way. So, yeah, I think that leads me to the question of, have you thought, I mean, now that you've done you've done one quarantine clash and you've been through it, is there something which, you know, you feel that, like, okay, because it's the internet, maybe I need to do a little bit more of this, or maybe, you know, because it's not a live audience, because it's not a stage, maybe I need to push a little more of this. Is there anything like that which has kind of come to your head?
I mean, you know, I don't really want to give anything away, but of course.
Don't give anything away.
I mean, bro, I was going to say I haven't prepared shit. You know what I'm saying? so Nah, man, of course. I mean, you know, you learn also from the first time, and I guess, of course, it's a different kind of thing. It's a screen, so it's also visual to a degree, right? I mean, that is true on a stage as well, though. I would say. I mean, you know, like even on a stage, it's your presence is and kind of occupying that and being performative and doing some bugged out things eh, in a live situation is also gonna, you know, gonna carry. You know what I mean? So I think that way on the screen it's kind of similar. Like, but I suppose the different thing is you have to kind of perform to camera, right? Which is a bit kind of artificial, I suppose. You know what I'm saying? It's like you have to like Cheeky Dubs was saying yesterday. You have to kind of imagine the audience, or you have to imagine the person that you're addressing yourself to. You know?
For sure. Yo, if anyone has any questions, now would be a good time to send them in so that we can start collating them and ask Delhi Sultanate your questions. There was a little bit of, you know, I guess some people had a few issues about the 45. Well, it was a dub plate, an original dub plate that you played. And also, you know, they were saying that you played back a rhythm. Do you want to, I mean, without
Man,
going too
that's
deep
pure
into
foolishness. I can respond to both of those things. All right. So see, you can play back rhythm anytime. The thing is, you can't play back tune. And I didn't play back a tune. The dude played 5446 from Toots, which is a dub plate that a lot of sounds have. And I got Toots to sing a Ray Charles song on the same rhythm that nobody in the world has. Nobody in the world has that. So that's legit. He was just saying like, yo, you play back a tune, but that's different. I played Hit the Road Jack. He played 5446. As far as the Bob Marley is concerned, I knew that that would cause a lot of controversy. But I can tell you two things. First, the old school guys consider this a real dub plate, and they don't really like the ones with your name in it. You know what I mean? Secondly, bro, the next day, Babyface messaged me, and he says like, "Yo, Sultan, what's this Bob Marley thing that people are telling me about? You know, and like, let me hear it." And then he sends me a message later saying like, "Yo, I heard it, and I heard the story with Festus," and he say like, "Yo, you go and kill them, my youth, and you school them." You know, so, bro, me no business if Babyface gives me a stamp of approval and be like, "Youth, what you're doing is right," then it's cool. Look, I knew the thing would be cause a controversy, but on the other hand, it's like, it's a different, of course, people are not used to this kind of thing anymore, but this is a Bob Marley mix that nobody in the world has heard. And I was like, all right, you know, let me play it. Let me play it and bust this out and just do something, you know, surprise people. And okay, I knew that there would be some flack and people would say this and that and whatever, but I still felt, fuck it, it's an interesting thing to do. You know what I mean? Like,
definitely an interesting thing to do, creative and exclusive. You know, at the end of it, it's an exclusive dub plate. So, yeah, for
of
sure.
course, come on, like these tunes, you can't buy these tunes with money. You know what I'm saying? Like,
the only
like
thing
that,
I guess the only thing I'm wondering is that in a setting like that, did you maybe run the risk of getting disqualified?
yeah, sure, that's a risk. Like, I wouldn't do it again now because I think they're also clear. But man, bro, I mean, you know, when he played that Stephen Marley, I was just like, yo, let me just play this. And that also gives people something they're not gonna hear, you know, here and there, you know. So yeah, man, I knew it would be like whatever, but I just did it, you know.
Yeah, man, definitely. I mean, I think at the moment, like, it didn't feel wrong, but then, like, I just saw the chat erupt, you know? People were like, yo, what did he just play a 45? Like, that's not cool, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, I mean, yeah, who knows? Maybe if it was a different clash setting.
It's what it is, bro. But I
Different
tell
clash.
you what, if Babyface tells me cool, I don't care what anybody else says. And end of the day, of course, that's also old school thing, you know what I mean? Like elder generation people will say like, yeah, of course, and your generation people will say like, yo, this is not cool, your name is not in it. It's all right, you know. I think sometimes it's okay. Like actually even sparking off a discussion sometimes is good, you know.
Which you
like,
did, and you loved doing that. So, yeah, for sure. But I mean, you know, I was also thinking. Yesterday I was telling Chiki also maybe to have the rules clearly spelled out somehow, pinned somewhere, you know, so that people can see. Because you know what I noticed, that influences people. So if someone erupts in the chat, say, "Yo, that's not allowed," and blah, 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 you know, then everyone starts thinking like, "Oh shit," you know, he fucked up or something, you know. What I mean? So
sure.
there
For
should
sure.
be a way of like looking at the rules or
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. I mean, I think this time it's like they added a new round. They added a 45 round. So first 10-minute round is play anything you want. Second 10-minute round is only 45s. And third 10-minute round is only doublet. And tune for tune also is only doublet. So we'll stick to the program, you know, this time.
you happy with the 45 round?
Yeah, kind of. Kind of. I mean, you know, it's always, in a sense, actually, it's always easier when you play only doublet because then it restricts what you can draw from. Whereas 45s means you're talking about the history of reggae music. You know what I'm saying? Like you're talking about 70 years of. So yeah, that's the kind of thing where it's cool. Yeah, it's good. I mean, like you know, even Cheeky Dogs yesterday said I would have liked to have more time to prepare. And I reckon, like, yeah, I don't really know. I just kind of go into this thing and see what happens and draw out tunes that I like playing and stuff. You know what I mean? But yeah. Yeah, I think in principle, I think it's good. In principle, I think a 45 round is very good because it forces you to get out of your comfort zone, you know?
Definitely. I mean,
And then, but the thing with me is, for instance, too, right? I can only play what I have on vinyl, right? Like other people, you can draw on any tune on anything because chances are you'll have like a huge library of a lot of reggae tunes. But in my kind of thing, it's like unless I have Barrington Levy under me Sensi on 7-inch, I can't play it, you know?
but I mean, you know, in your dances, you don't just play dubs. Like you have a lot of tunes that you love on vinyl. So
Yeah,
10-minute
sure.
round is an
Definitely.
easy thing for you, right?
Definitely. I mean, I have enough music for 10 minutes for sure.
Yeah, no doubt, definitely. No, that's something I think which is a good addition because it, you know, it gives you a sense of the sound or the selector, you know, how they might run a dance without doublets, which is always
True.
interesting. You know?
True. Or what they sometimes do is you can only play vocal rounds, like only play singers, no DJs and those kind of things, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think. Yeah. So in terms of representing India, you feel you're feeling like you've put a flag down. People are recognizing around the world because I'll tell you, man. Like I was watching the chat on the clash on a few different platforms, and on Facebook it was like lit. Like it was just crew. You know, like on Facebook it tells you how many friends are watching it. So at one point it was like
Okay.
40, 50 people, and almost all Indians. You know, watching the clash together. So it's really formed, I guess, like, you know, more awareness of sound clash and interest in it. So I think this is something we're going to have to think of how to continue it and further it and not let this just be one kind of, you know, splash in the sea. We got to figure out how to keep sound clash something which people can access, you know, in India throughout the year, probably.
True. Yeah, man, bro, for me, that was really nice, man. And that's also nice about the platform because and I think that's also what she's intention. It gives it a kind of respect, you know, because I'm sure a lot of other people before, like, okay, whatever, what's this obscure subculture from Jamaica and who cares, you know? And now suddenly it's like, wow, like this is interesting. And there's some people in India who are really into this culture and who are kind of ambassadors of it here and working hard also to spread it here, you know? So, yeah, man, of course, it's nice. It's nice that, like, all these dudes who kind of, you know, in the scene vaguely there suddenly notice, like, okay, sound clash is a big thing. And it gives it a certain respect, which I think is very nice, man, you know? For sure.
Any thoughts or ideas about how we can kind of keep the momentum?
Yeah, man, it's tricky. I mean, you know, Zeus, I tell you honestly, like, see, I love Sound Clash. I really love it, man. I mean, that's also part of the reason, and I must be crazy to do it also, to spend money on Clash Dub, and, you know, it's kind of in my thing. On the other hand, I do sometimes, I'm not entirely also happy with how the Sound Clash world is developing, you know? Like, there's some dudes who are great, but overall, so I don't know. I mean, I suppose the way to do it here would be to keep clashes every now and then, you know, like every now and then call a sound here and organize a clash. I suppose that would be a way to do it. You know what I think should probably also happen is forget doublets. You should have clashes with just 45s. That's what we used to do as kids when I was living in Europe. you know, because there are now a lot of people who select and who DJ reggae music, and the dubplate thing can be a bit forbidding because end of the day, look, it's not easy to get dubplates. Like you need to spend a lot of money, you need to know a lot of artists, you need to kind of really, and that can be prohibitive. So I think that shouldn't be a barrier. We should have like nice 45 clash with different that you organize with different upcoming selectors just learn, and then it'll push them also. They'll have fun, it'll push them to get into it. So I think that could be a good way to do it, you know.
Definitely.
And then maybe they'll cut like a few dubs, maybe they'll have like 1 or 2 dub plates that they play. But I mean, you know, as a kid, I haven't clashed a lot in my life. I mean, considering that I'm so preoccupied with this damn phenomenon. But I remember, like, even as a kid, a couple of times we would do clash, and it would just be 45s because nobody had that many dub plate, you know, to fill up a full dance. And maybe you have 2 dubs, then you play them, or maybe you go to some friend who can sing and you cut some dub plates. You know what I'm saying? Like, it should be like that so that there's no barrier for people entering.
Yeah, definitely.
And you could actually flip that format also. You could do like, you know, I don't know. I think maybe keep it reggae. Actually, I was thinking for a moment maybe you could have a thing where you could have 1 round with bass music and stuff like that, which is cool. But I think maybe one should keep it reggae because there are reggae selectors coming up. There are a lot of bass heads who are also into reggae, and then this will become about how well do you know reggae music, and then slowly you build it, you know, because a lot of places clash culture came very late. Like I remember 2 instances. Like one, when I was in Europe as a little kid, we used to organize dances, but clash was still a foreign thing, you know, so people don't necessarily know. So you run a couple of 45 clashes and people slowly begin to understand what's happening. And same in California, bro, like where Jamaica is from, mid-90s, there was very little reggae there. I mean, there was not even much sound system stuff, you know. And then now they know what sound clash is and they're kind of into it. So you have to just build it up from there.
Yeah, I think the awareness has started. People have started digging. They've, you know, they're wondering what is this thing, and yeah, I think if we can provide them some opportunities and platforms, like you're saying, even smaller sounds, just 45 rounds, just to get a, you know, and understand that it's actually an intelligent, almost interactive way of playing music. That it's an exchange. It's not just I play a set, then you play a set. It's like this thought going into what tunes you might respond with or play. You know.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way to start. I mean, we could even start it at Sunsplash. You know, starting.
I think so, bro.
Trying
you know,
to put
and
some
it makes it interesting
concept
also.
together.
Do like a little, you know, maybe DJs can even submit, and I think you guys are perfectly placed for it. Like organize. That I think that'll really give a big boost also to all the young DJs who are getting into reggae music and stuff, you know, to clash, and it'll push people to MC and all that stuff. So yeah, man, I think that's a good idea.
I think we could even host clashes at Sunsplash. I mean, a lot of the big reggae festivals do that, right? So even if it's a friendly clash, and it's not like some, you know, I mean, I remember you kind of did something with Fatah, right? Like you did
yeah, man, that was wicked.
Back and forth.
Yeah, that was wicked. And
so,
I think,
you know,
he also didn't expect. I gave him a little bit of heat. Even Johnny Osborne later was like, yeah, man, you know, you did well or whatnot. So yeah, exactly. I think so, bro. I mean, look, I think end of the day, even I remember that you were a bit concerned when the topic came up in previous sound clashes because you didn't want an aggressive energy there. But I think if the people know what they're doing, you understand that it's a musical thing and it's all good and before and after, and it's not like a war kind of thing, you know. It's like that energy has a certain place and it's entertaining for people. You just need someone who has that maturity that they don't go and stab you after the clash, you know.
It's also a process of educating, which we've started with this, you know. So
yeah,
a few of us might have been into this for a few years, but a lot of now people who are listening to reggae now are getting introduced to this culture now, so they understand.
I mean, bro, honestly, like if you know, when you and me clashed a few times, it was wicked and it pushed us also to a creativity, but it also created some bad vibes that I just didn't. None of us really wanted, bro. You know what I mean? Like for that, the scene is really too small for us to be like hitting on each other, you know. So,
I mean, yeah. Unfortunately, you know, it can turn into an ego thing, and that's, you know, part of it.
But
especially
yeah,
when
I think no, a proper clash with a trophy and a 45 clash where you invite some selectors to play, I think is a great idea, you know.
Yeah, I think we'll work on it. I think that's a great idea. We'll work on it. Stain is like ready to clash. He wants to do like promoter clashes, like have different like culture clash, almost like I guess like a.
That's a great, Prof. I think all of those things are a great idea. You need to
Also
just
a good
make sure
idea.
that the people who are in it are up to a certain standard of performance. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
certain standard of like performing and mixing and knowing what it's about, and then yeah, and you're good to go, and it'll grow from there.
The tricky thing in the other genres is I feel.
You know what you could also do actually, bro? For instance, I was actually just thinking like you could even do a thing like, let's say, suppose you bring a sound in and you have one like dub plate clash or whatever, like a bigger sound, you know? But you could have before that, leading up to that, even either on the same day or like the day before, you could have like a 45 clash with like upcoming DJs or something like that, you know?
Sure. I think it's a good, we've thought of a good new feature to include into Sunsplash the next time it happens. I think for sure it would be entertaining because even if you're not flying the DJ or the selector specifically for the clash, you know.
Oh, big up Apache Indians tune in.
Apache Indian in a place. Don Raja, big up yourself.
Apache Indian,
yeah, so,
brother, I begged you for your dub plate so many times and I still don't have one, you know?
Gotta work harder, Sultanate. Gotta work harder. That's it, bro. Get on that hustle before your clash on Sunday. Yeah. No, but the you know, like what I was saying is even if we're not flying in someone specifically for the clash, but if it's someone like, you know, like a Fata or Damalistic or, you know, these guys have dub plates, you know, so you can always highlight them against Reggae Rajahs or them against Bass Foundation Roots, you know, just as a showcase. So
yeah, man, for sure. Or you can do a little dub dub or a little, just at the end of the thing, you do a little, you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Link him, Delhi Sultanate. Apache is ready. Link him.
Always ready to cut up? All right, I am ready to. Big up, brother. Honestly, it's been years. I written to you. I wrote to Junie. Yeah, man, we need some Apache Indian dub plate, you know?
Wicked. Respect. All right. So if no one has any questions, then I think that's about it, Taru. I think everyone is looking forward to tomorrow night. Quarantine clash. Do you know what time it is or not yet?
It's at 11:30. 11:30 India time. It's going to be tricky because this time, you know, they're allowing voting only for 10 minutes after the clash. And it's late night in India, so I hope people stay up and vote because, you know,
yeah, well,
you're up against, like, I don't know, Latin America.
No, you had a lot of people tuned in last time, and everyone was ready to vote, but the problem was everyone had to sleep. You know, they couldn't vote till the second clash was over, so that was a bit tough. Yeah. So this is actually better. This is you know, it's a good
right after.
So cool. So you're the first clash tomorrow, and
tomorrow is only one clash.
There's only one clash tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah.
The next semi-final is the week after.
Yeah, I think they're giving each sound like 2 weeks between clashes.
See. All right. Wicked.
The clash is tomorrow, brother. The clash is tomorrow. We send Apache Indian the flyer, Zeus. Tomorrow, I think it's 7 p.m. UK time.
I'll send it to him. I'll give him the details. Make him know. He'll tune in. Don't worry.
See? Yes, big up, Dan Raja. I remember seeing, like, back in the days, there was a reggae show on MTV that was hosted by Apache Indian and Patra. And I used to love it.
No way.
Patra. It was Patra and Apache Indian used to host the show. And at that time, we were so hungry for anything reggae. And there was not so much reggae on TV, and there was no reggae on the internet either. So I remember used to interview Beanie Man. And we used to tape the show and then take the tunes from the videotape to the cassette so that we could listen to them, you know? Like Shine Eye Gia. A lot of tunes I heard for the first time on that show, like Shabba Ranks, Michael Rose, Shine Eye Gia.
This would have been what year?
Yeah, man. Reggae Sound System MTV, that's right, with Patra. Exactly.
What year would that have been?
Man.
Mid-90s.
95? Could it be? 95? I mean, yeah, we were young. Must be around that time. His album had come out, no? Like, his album had blown up. No Reservation had blown up. And then he was doing the TV show with 1998. Okay, see, I would have thought it was earlier.
96.
I'm getting my year. 96. Yeah. That sounds more like it. See.
Fair play. Yeah, man. definitely. We'll get Apache down for the Goa Sunsplash as well.
Yes.
And then we all link up. Much needed. It's about time that happens.
Yeah. No doubt. Whip out new
Cool,
dubs
bro.
that we didn't hear before. I think so. I mean, look, people who come to the dances regularly have heard a lot of them, but then there are also dubs that I don't really play too much in the dances, you know? So yeah, I think there'll be something that you haven't heard before. You know?
Okay. Yeah, I guess you got to keep some for the final as well. You can't expose everything tomorrow.
True. I'm not gonna say more, but true.
Respect, though. Cool. I think everyone is really looking forward to it.
All right, give thanks, people, man. It's nice for me to see you. You know, it's really nice. So much love, man. It's nice everyone being engaged. I'm tuning into the clash. It's fun, you know. It was nice.
For sure. Big up, bro.
Much love, Zeus.
See you tomorrow. Boom.
All right. Peace.
Yo, you guys are funny. Asking Taru if he's going to play customs and what dubs he's going to play, as if he's going to reveal. It's a sound clash, man. He's not going to tell you what dub plates he's going to play, guys. Big up Apache Indian tuned in. Big up Major C, Tully Tulls from South Africa tuned in right now. All Reggae India massive. Locked in. Big up yourselves. That was Delhi Sultanate. He is, as most of you know, clashing tomorrow in the World Quarantine Clash. Semi-finals Aguan against Cheeky Dubs from Panama. It's going to be a mad clash. You guys have to tune in 11:30 p.m. on the Major Lazer YouTube channel. They are a little concerned that because there's a 45 round, because there's a round of regular tunes this time, that Facebook might have problems. So if you guys want to be sure that you get uninterrupted audio and video, tune into YouTube or tune into Twitch. Major Lazer is hosting the thing. Walshy Fire, big up yourself. Warrior Sound, Mattia, respect. World Quarantine Clash with Bass Foundation Roots. Delhi Sultanate tomorrow, 11:30 p.m. That's what you guys want to tune in. Big up all Box Out crew tuned in. This was General Zeus, and we're about to sign out. Am I taking any bets? Yo, I mean, I love Cheeky Dubs. Yeah, Cheeky Dubs is he has my full respect. The man flew down from Panama for Goa Sunsplash. So full respect to the General Cheeky Dubs. You know, he's full of vibes. I love the guy, but I'm not sure he's ready for Delhi Sultanate. I mean, just putting it out there, Delhi Sultanate is, he's studied this thing. He's a student of Sound Clash. I'm not sure Cheeky Dubs is on the same level. I love Cheeky Dubs, love his energy, I love his vibe, but I'm not sure he's on the same level. Anyway, we'll see. What I do know is that Cheeky Dubs has 50,000 followers on Instagram. So one blast from Cheeky Dubs is like guaranteed to get him X amount of votes. So all you guys tuned in right now, you better engage whatever army it is, the Bass Foundation Army, the Rajah Army, the Indian Reggae Army. Engage everyone you know and get them watching this clash, because Delhi Sultan is going to need the numbers. He doesn't have 50,000. He doesn't have 50,000 followers that he can blast out to. So yeah, at the end of it, we are watching something on the internet. It is a quarantine clash, and votes, numbers count. It's not 300 people in a club, 500 people in a club that are deciding this clash. It's people all over the world on the internet. So numbers count. That is very real. So we can't really take anything for granted in terms of, who we might think is the winner. At the end of it, numbers count. So engage everyone. Big up yourselves. Soul City, no mercy, no pity. Shout out to all New Delhi crew locked in. And we will see you tomorrow. Let's tune in and watch it together, guys. Support Delhi Sultanate. Big up yourselves. I hope you guys have enjoyed this latest edition of Sound Clash Culture 101, brought to you by Box Out FM and Reggae Rajahs. My name is General Zeus. I'm signing out. I think we'll do another round of talks, regardless of whether Delhi Sultanate makes it into the next round or not. keep this momentum going because it's been something that I've really been enjoying. I hope you guys have been enjoying it too. If you guys are free right now, you have nothing to do, tune in and watch me play a set on the Easy Does It Inc. Instagram and Facebook. I will be live at 9 o'clock, 10 minutes time. Strictly dub plate selection. Not deal with no copyright thing. All right? Blood clot copyright thing. No copyright thing. Strictly dub plate selection. 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Easy Does It Inc. We're supporting Vagabond, which is an NGO taking care of animals in Pune during this lockdown. So if you want to see some real dub plates, Reggae Rajah style, lock in, Easy Does It Inc., 9 p.m. See you guys in a bit. Murder style. Bomb.